Hello and welcome to the Paws Perspective podcast. I'm Molly.
And I'm Pat, and we're from Flying Paws Dog Training. We're so excited you're here.
This is where we share training tips, behaviour insights, and fun ways to build a stronger bond with your dog.
Grab a coffee, flip on the lead, and let's dive in. Welcome back to the Paws Perspective. I'm Pat.
And I'm Molly.
And today, it's an interesting little subject we're going to have a chat about.
I think we say they're all interesting.
Yeah, well, they are.
I was wondering how you got to introduce that. And then as soon as you said interesting, I thought, I think we need a new adjective.
Yeah.
But yes, it is interesting.
So, reward value?
Reward values.
Interesting one to have a chat about.
It is.
So what do we mean when we talk about rewards for our dog?
A reward is anything that is valuable to your dog for doing something.
Yeah. So often people think treats, don't they?
Treats are an easy one.
Yeah. An easy one. But it isn't always.
It's not always the highest value. I think that's where we can get caught out sometimes. But I think we also sometimes get caught out by thinking our dogs aren't food motivated.
Yeah.
So we'll get into both of those. But maybe if we just start with food and talk about the range of reward value just within food.
Yeah, and it's interesting when we talk about value because it can be different in different environments. That's another one.
And probably something we should really mention straight off the top as well is your dog gets to pick what's valuable. And I think we've all been there. I know you've certainly been there where you've gone and bought what we think are going to be fantastic treats that might have cost a fortune, and you give them to your dog and they just go, no, thank you. Unless you've got a Labrador.
Yeah.
You probably haven't then. But most of the time, we can think something's good, and it is.
Yep.
Especially at home.
Yep.
But when there are other things at play.
Yeah. Different environment.
We really need to know what makes that dog go.
Yeah, it does. And that can be hard. So, and especially in classes, we see that.
In distracting environments, yeah.
So there's a lot happening in a class. And when you go for a walk out and about with your dogs, could be other people, other dogs about, could be a kid's party, who knows. But
I've been quite lucky, I think, in that my dogs have both been very food motivated.
Which makes life easier.
You, on the other hand.
Yeah, Zan wasn't. When he was a pup, he wasn't that food motivated. And we do hear it a bit. So
I got the brunt of Zan.
Yeah, you did, because you were trying and working in a puppy class. I
remember it wasn't puppy class. It wasn't it might have been the what did we used to call that? The senior class. Yep. We were still senior then. Remember when I had him and he started tugging on my braid? Do you remember that?
Oh, he loves a tug. But yes, it's he wasn't.
No.
And I didn't buy treats from the pet shop. I bought treats from the butcher. And oh gosh, lamb backstrap.
Which is apparently very good.
Yeah.
Because I don't eat lamb. You say this all the time to people and they're like, oh, and I'm like, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know what lamb backstrap looked like. I don't eat a lot of red meat.
No, so I tried that. I had stir-fried beef strips, chicken. The butcher had some sort of, I can't think now what it was called, but it was like it wasn't salami, but it was, well, I tried cabana as well. It was like one of those sorts of things. A little bit salty, but at that stage I was like just trying for it. Oh gosh, and I used to make the fish fudge, and what we did find with the fish fudge was that the red salmon, and you got me onto that. You said try red salmon.
Well, I must have one of the classes I stayed with. I must have had some leftover ones of Murph's and that I'd made for Murph, and
that seemed to be a little bit helpful.
Yeah,
in some environments.
Yeah.
But I used to take, when I did anything with him or went anywhere or up at school, oh gosh, I'd have 5, 6 different things. I'd cook up the meat through the week and have them, put them in the freezer and then just pull a variety of things out, have a heap of things in the esky to pull out and try. And yeah, sometimes it'd be okay, but if it was too distracting, he just wasn't interested. So, but now he has changed as he's got older. And he does like food a lot more. So it's a bit easier for me to do things with him. And pretty much now he'll have anything.
Yeah. But even in what you'd class as a food motivated dog, there can be times where they won't take treats.
For various reasons.
And we're very quick to blame the treats.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is usually the first mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it can be just too distracting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be too overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because if your dog's not 100% sure of what's happening, if it needs to run away.
Yeah, when their body goes into fight or flight, the first thing they do is shut down their stomach, that's their digestive system, because they don't need to worry about being hungry if they run off or fight something or flee from something, or whichever F you're gonna use there.
So they don't eat it then as well.
And that's a biological response.
It is. Yeah. So that just happens.
And the same thing happens when they're excited, because the process in the body for stress or excitement is exactly the same.
So
same with people. It's exactly the same, which is why the responses look so similar. And people will often say to us, I don't know if they're excited, or I don't know, I'm off on a tangent here. It's because their body's working the same way. So it's why in both of those situations they won't take food.
So so it might be the value of the food, it might be the environment and what's happening around them. So it's always good to have a few different treats, try different treats in different environments,
and know what your dog's going to work for.
Yeah, because sometimes you can do something and you might just have a boring bit of kibble.
Yeah.
But the next, if there's a bit more happening, you might need your roast chicken.
Yeah.
You might need your
Twiggy
cheese.
sticks,
You
Fox.
might need Twiggy sticks. Yeah, Fox loves Twiggy sticks. What did Murph like when he was a pup?
I'm going to get into that.
Yeah, well, in puppy class you brought something different than in the next course up. What did you bring in puppy class?
In puppy class I brought cheese.
Yep.
He loved cheese.
Big chunks of cheese too, I can remember.
Can you remember that?
Oh, yes, I can remember. Yeah.
We should say on Tuesday next week, 10 years since Murphy came to puppy class.
Yeah.
I know that's going to sound like a really weird thing to remember, but he came to school on my brother's birthday.
Yeah.
So and I was annoyed because my dad was meant to come with me, and they went out for tea with him, and I was like, I don't want to go by myself, but I went by myself.
Yes, you did. You kept coming back. You're still here.
Yeah, exactly. So I do remember, because it was on his birthday.
Yeah.
So 10 years.
And you had a friend come though with you.
She had a pup as well. Yeah, we had a pup at the same time. But so he had cheese in class, which he then would be so thirsty he would drink all his water and then be like at 2 o'clock in the morning because he needed to go out to the toilet. But anyway, no, by the time we got to what was then known as the event, he'd had a few things happen, which I've said in another podcast. We might actually talk about murder at some stage and what happened, but it's no secret, but it's just a lot of people probably didn't know. His high value food was cut up raw chicken.
It was, yep.
And it was like, I hated cutting them, I hated touching them, but I could get him to focus on me in an environment that was hard for him.
Yeah, it was. And a little bit of distance always helps as well. Sometimes, but it was a great big container too, wasn't it? Yeah, and I think I said earlier it's interesting because we can see it was very visual. I think for you and Murph how far you progressed because the container got smaller.
It was a big container.
It used to be massive.
I used to get the kilo bags of chicken necks. And I reckon probably he'd have 500 grams too. Thank God he was a big dog. 500 grams probably chicken necks on a Saturday morning. He wouldn't have breakfast because otherwise,
he wasn't
interested. And he, again, is a food motivated dog. And that's what he needed at that time with what had happened to him in that environment.
Yeah. But as he progressed, stand got more comfortable, the container got smaller.
Yeah.
And the treats changed a little bit as well.
Yeah. I think it was like when Fox started coming to classes because the treat containers got a bit bigger again and got a bit better value again. But, yeah, so we all struggle at times with different dogs. I probably haven't struggled as much with Fox.
No, he just likes his tucker and his
yeah, which, I mean, I do tell the story when I said I was going to have him. He was 6 weeks old, and the breeder sent me through a few videos, and one of them was, so there was 2 litters when he was in a litter of 8, and the other litter had 7, so 15 pups. She had 2 big, they like baking trays, is that what you call them, of mince out for the pups. He was laying in the middle of the 2 baking trays eating the mince, and everyone was eating around him. So I think that summed up him. But he can still be, he still doesn't like everything. He probably likes 98% of things. And I tried some new treats. It's a trick for young players, isn't it? I tried some new treats in a puppy class environment.
Yeah.
That was probably last year. He'd never had them before. And I was like, he's eating everything up until this point. And I was just running late. I grabbed a bag of those chunkers from the supermarket. The first thing, was it week 1? I don't even know what it was we did. And I gave it to him. He put it in his mouth, and then he just went,
yeah.
He didn't even chew it. He didn't even. So even a food-motivated dog.
Yeah, doesn't like everything.
No.
Yeah.
So what other rewards are there for our dogs?
Well, that's an interesting one. There's a few more. Probably the next big one would be tug.
Yeah, toys.
Yeah. So toys. Sometimes it might be just a squeaky toy, but often dogs like to tug at something. So having a tug toy, and that's often why they'll tug on their lead as well, because it's just hanging there. So yeah, tug's really.
Not only is it just hanging there, usually it happens in an overexciting, frustrating situation,
and then they
just grab because it will make them feel better. Yeah.
So
which that's a response going back to our fight or flight.
Yeah. So tugs, tug toys are a great one.
Yeah.
They're a little bit harder to use. They can be.
They can be a bit harder to use.
Certain environments. Zan loves a tug toy though.
Is it fair to say he would probably choose tug over food?
Yep, definitely. Yeah. He likes movement.
Yeah.
Loves that movement. So he just absolutely loves a tug toy. So he will go and get something and bring it up to you. And he tries that with Fox too. Sometimes if they're playing, he'll get a toy and he'll take it up to Fox to get him to tug with it.
Which is quite funny because you can see the differences in a breed, can't you?
Yeah.
That Fox likes to tug, but he's very soft in the mouth. He's almost heading towards like gun dog soft in the mouth, isn't he? Which Riley, your old girl, was the same, wasn't she? She was very soft in the mouth. And I don't think, now I'm actually thinking about it, I don't think I've ever seen him like nip, like a border collie nip.
No.
And I mean, this comes back to breeding. He's bred not to. Yeah. I mean, he's still a border collie. He still has border collie things, but his breeder has bred these sort of things to be a bit more muted.
Which is better for pet homes.
It is better for a pet home. But Zan, on the other hand, again, because he's that high drive, toys are going to be more exciting.
Oh, definitely.
Because you can get them to move. So tug toys, flirt poles, balls, which you do have to be careful with, and we probably won't go into balls here too much because we'll probably we should do a separate episode on balls. But they can be too high value for a lot of particularly herding breeds.
Yep. Get fixated on them.
Yep. The other thing that people will talk about with rewards is like pats and praise.
Yep.
Which is totally fine.
Yep.
And
we've had dogs that they're not that keen on the food, but they love a pat and a praise. But
the thing which you've got to be careful with any of them, but I think pats and praise is the one probably, is it fair enough to say it comes most unstuck, is in certain situations like we were talking about with the food, with environments,
things like that.
It may not be high value. You've got to make yourself really rewarding for that to be the case.
It is, definitely.
And some dogs will naturally have that value in you. Some dogs won't.
So that can be a hard one.
I know where Zan would tell you to shove your pat if a seagull flew past.
A lot more interested in the seagull.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the other one for some dogs is sniffing.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially some breeds.
Yes.
They just love it.
Yeah.
Like all dogs love to sniff, but some love it more than others.
Yeah.
So, but again, you can use that as a reward in some instances, some circumstances, and we do that sometimes with some of our clients.
Yeah.
We use sniffing as a reward.
Yeah.
But again, teaching behaviours, if you're wanting to teach a behaviour, food, even maybe a tug, is a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why we use those. And a lot of sports dogs, especially agility, those sorts of people, fly ball, they all use tug toys.
Yep.
So they can direct their dogs onto those.
You're probably better to talk about this than me because I don't really have a dog that, like, neither of mine tugged. Murph did a little bit, but he was of an age where you didn't tug. So I probably didn't do as much with him. But the thing you do need to be careful with tug, isn't it? It revs them.
Yeah, it does. Revs them up. And Zen, like, I can remember going to visit him before I even got him, and he was tugging with his, I think one of his brothers was trying to drag him around. So he's like tugging since he's probably about 6 weeks old or thereabouts. But it does. It gets them excited. It revs them up. So
and especially if you're talking about breeds and you're looking at dogs like gun dogs that can get oral fixations, you do need to know where the line is for your dog, where it's going to get too much. If you're going to go down, if that is their high value reward, and that is going to be
what you're going to use,
a problem or not.
Yeah. So you do. You have to be careful. You also have to be able to teach a give. So they need to be able to give it up so that the game stops. So a couple of different ways you can teach them to stop the game. So that's another thing that you need to be able to do as well. So it's a little bit more involved in using a tug toy. But it's amazing how strong they are and how much they can pull on a tug toy. So
we've got a little bodybuilder out there.
You can have a bit of fun with them, but it does rev them up. But for us, we can use it in some of our private lessons. If we want more distracting environments, we can get Zan moving fast, get him tugging, jumping around, and that can be good to use as a high distraction for another dog we're working with. So we use it in that way as well. And he loves it. He thinks he's done a great job, and all he's done is had a bit of fun and tugged. But you've got to then be able to calm them down after that, which again, sometimes, although with some breeds, food can be...
I was going to say that's where I was going to go to next. For some breeds, you're probably looking at your Labradors.
Some Goldies.
Some food is too high value. So this is knowing your dog and having a fiddle. We haven't done that for a long time. Remember when we used to have the like you'd have two choices of food, and you'd like they'd be like a metre or so apart, when so you could see them making a choice
as to which one they wanted. That's always a good option. Have a few different things around and see what they like. But for some dogs, again, I guess we go to our labs, things like that. But pretty much like anything, sometimes, it can be too high value. Some of the food, you roast chicken, fish fudge, those sorts of things, and they're just all over you. You just, they're biting your hands, grabbing for the food. They can't think. They're just too full on. So then you do have to actually knock it back, where other people need to try to step it up with better food. Sometimes you do have to actually go back a few steps and have something that is a bit plainer for them, so that they can actually think while they're working.
But it's also good to know, even in those dogs where food can be too much, what is high value for those situations where you might need it. So it's and probably something we haven't mentioned is using, so like we said, Fox is probably a good example. He loves Twiggy sticks.
Yep.
they are like be all and end all for him. I don't even want to think about what's in a Twiggy stick, but he doesn't get them all the time.
Yeah.
He doesn't get them. He gets them in one class on a Saturday.
Yep.
And I might sprinkle them in, like if I've got some leftovers, into some of the other classes, but not very often because he doesn't need them in a puppy class anymore.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 puppy classes concentrate enough with just some Prime 100. And again, on a Saturday, if he's in a few classes, I don't want him to fill up on Twiggy sticks and have an upset tummy or
whatever
further problems. But I know if I'm going somewhere like a cafe, I will have some there.
Yep. Bit more distracting.
Bit more going on. There might be other dogs that he'll get excited and want to say hello to. So knowing that what's worth what, a Twiggy stick is worth as much as another dog, unless it's a really exciting other dog that also wants to say hello. But it's working out what equals what.
Yeah, and we can use the different values. So, like you say, if you go somewhere that's really distracting, having whatever your highest value is, use it then, and then when the environment's not quite as distracting, you can downplay it, have something a treat that's not quite as
because if you get your high value treat all the time, it can very quickly not become your high value treat. Like if you get chocolate every day and you love chocolate, some people are going to, like one person I can think of in particular, would eat chocolate every day for the rest of his life. Yeah. No problems. But
some of us might get a bit sick of it.
Yeah. If you ate a block of chocolate every day for the rest of your life, you're probably very quickly going to get sick of chocolate. Yeah. So it's knowing when to pull, when to push.
Yep. Those special treats.
Yeah. And when to bring them out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. And interesting to think not just food, there is other sorts of rewards that we can use.
Because as well, when you start getting into little dogs, they're going to fill up. Even if you have tiny treats, they might fill up too quickly. If you're looking at some of your like cavoodles, chihuahuas, Maltese, Shih Tzus, I mean, you can get incredibly food motivated ones of them too. Don't get me wrong, toy poodles are probably another one that can be. And then they get classed as fussy.
Yeah.
When, don't get me wrong, some probably are. In every breed, you're going to have dogs that are going to go, I'll take that or leave it. But the littler dogs get labelled fussier quickly, probably because they've had breakfast and then you're trying to do training on top of it with food and they're just going, I can't eat anymore.
The other thing, when we think about that, is the size of the treats.
Yes.
So you don't need big treats. You don't need them to be the size of a golf ball or half a golf ball.
Unless you've got a fox that inhales them. Yeah. Then you have them a bit bigger than I would ideally like for him. But you've seen him before where he's just spat up 3 treats whole because he doesn't chew them if they're too big. So again, it comes back to knowing your dog. But 9 times out of 10, you don't want, especially if you've got a little dog.
Yeah, you want, we say baby size, baby pea size. Yeah. Could even be half a baby pea.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got a small dog.
Yeah, well, like Zan would probably work for half a crumb with some things these days, wouldn't he, in the right circumstances?
Yep, definitely.
Where Fox would too, but he is more likely to not chew.
Yeah.
And which is, again, probably a bit more like a lab or a Goldie or something like that. And that's where you see them spitting up the treats whole. Yep. So then you might need to look at a bigger treat or a harder treat or so they've actually got to chew it. But for most dogs, we especially pups.
Yeah, you don't need anything big because they're only small. Tummies are only small.
Yeah.
And we want to get those high value treats in. As quick as we can, but not fill up. So so little treats. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Really.
And I suppose again we've mentioned about 1,000 times all dogs are going to be different, but when you're going to start to look at high value rewards, we've had people come and say to us, but I went to the pet shop and asked them for a high value reward and they've said, use this, and you possibly spent $20 on a bag of treats that your dog will love at home, but might not like in the situation you're actually trying to work in. So chicken, sausages, obviously you need to be careful with what's in your sausages.
Just a plain chicken sausage or a plain
Prime 100. I probably like Prime 100 more than you do.
Yeah, I don't like that. I've had a
you've had
harrowing experience
with dog, not with Prime 100.
No, with dog rolls.
Yeah, but why I like Prime 100, especially for pups, and Fox had it a lot when he was little, is it's a complete food.
Yeah.
So you're not filling them up with crap. You're not filling them up with a lot of something that might be salty or fatty, or
it's got good stuff
it's got good stuff in it, and it's proper meat. And you can get a few different. So Fox had the turkey one a lot when he was little, and I'd probably say now turkey's not that high up on his reward list because he had it when he was little, but I didn't know if he was going to have a sensitive tummy, so that's why we went turkey. But they've got turkey, lamb, kangaroo, chicken, beef, so that, you can mix it up if you want a store-bought option.
The other store-bought options, just while I think of it, that Zan loves are freeze-dried treats.
Yes, they are a lot more expensive, though.
They are very expensive.
Yep. They're a sometimes treat.
And freeze-dried machine is very expensive.
Well, you can buy a freeze-dried machine. You're just looking in the thousands.
So they are very expensive treats normally.
Yeah.
But I do buy them sometimes as treats, as a special high value treat, because he absolutely loves freeze-dried.
And again, you talking about going back to that's a high value treat for him.
Yep, the special.
He doesn't get it all the time.
No.
And you might take it to, if we go to the East Coast, or Hobart, or if we went to another trainer at, somewhere he doesn't go a lot. Yep. So it's, again, knowing that, okay, well, that's top tier for him.
Focus on me rather than there's something else happening. I'll get a bit more focus on me with those high value treats.
Yep.
So he loves those. But otherwise, your fish fudge that we make, you can use. That's a good cheap one because you can use whatever. You've got tuna, salmon, whatever's on special.
Yeah.
You can use that. Freeze them, make it up, cut it up, freeze them, and easy.
Yep. Well, hopefully that's given some people some ideas about not only different food rewards, but different rewards you can use in different circumstances. It was.
Alrighty.
We'll see you in the next one.
Don't forget to follow us.
And give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye.